Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the Abundance Lifestyle Show with Becky Mulcahy. We're so glad that you're with us again this week. We have a fabulous show for you this week. And we want to remind everybody, please add your comments and questions into the chat box down below. And we'll definitely get answers from Malina. We can answer them all during the week. She'll be on an automatic replay all week until we do our live show again next Wednesday. We're so glad you're with us. Say hi, say where you're coming from. And we
Hello,
welcome Malina, who is from the Big Island, Kona, Hawaii, the lucky girl. It sounds like just a fabulous lifestyle, and she is living the abundance lifestyle. We're so happy to hear what she's going to teach us today. She has 5 beautiful girls, and she started this 2 years ago. She's living her abundance lifestyle dream, and she wanted to showcase that for her girls. And she was pregnant with her 5th girl when she started, and she just put in tons of time before, in the morning before they got up and after they went to bed at night. And she is truly living the dream and just has a fabulous, tight team, very much friends with her teammates. And so we want to hear from her today about, her background, how she does this, and how it's working for her and how we might be able to utilize it for all of us on our journeys to abundance too. So welcome, Malina Briggs. We're so happy that you're on the show today. So happy to hear from you. Welcome.
Thank you. I'm so grateful to be here, Becky. It's been great meeting you just recently and getting to know you. What an amazing person you are and what a desire you have to help others grow and learn and grow together. And that's what it's all about. We're all in this together. We're all growing together. And anybody who's watching this, you have a desire to grow in your own life and in who you are. And I applaud you for that. And I think it's the coolest thing since sliced bread. I mean, really working on ourselves and growing as people. It's awesome. Yeah.
It's wonderful. And that is what it is all about. And, just sharing, people like you that are so successful with everybody else. Why not? It's so empowering, and it is what we should be doing, I think. And it just works out beautifully.
I have one thing to say about success. My great friend and team member, Al Palmier, he recently won Youngevity's Rising Star 2015 award, and he gets up on stage, and in his interview, they said, there was a question about success, and he goes, success is so much fun. I recommend it for everybody. And
Perfect.
Success is so much fun, and we can all have it. It's there for all of us. It really is. And whatever vehicle you choose to get you to success is the creative process of your life, and that's the juicy part. That's the fun part, is what's your vehicle to get there, and what does success look like to you, and we all have different ideas of what success looks like to us, and it changes, and it's just so much fun. It's so much fun.
That's so awesome. And I saw him, and he is so enthusiastic, and he's so entertaining, just the funniest guy. I'm not a bit surprised that he's very successful. He's so outgoing and hilarious. He's just such a funny guy. So tell us a little bit first about Malina. Like, where did you grow up, and what was your childhood like, and anything about your background that you want to share?
Well, I grew up in Hawaii. I was born in New York, and we moved to Hawaii when I was very young. And I didn't have a storybook childhood. And that's part of the great thing about this is anybody can achieve success, no matter what your background is, no matter what your childhood is, no matter what your situation, what your current circumstances are today. That doesn't dictate what's going to happen tomorrow or even the rest of today, and I didn't have the greatest circumstances growing up. And I grew up in an abusive house. I was in Hawaii, so I was in a great place, environment. But my home life, it was not edifying. It was not nurturing. And I went a lot of years kind of trying to work myself out of that. And I had some great friends. And but I had a lot of self-destructive behavior, for many years, and a pretty low self-esteem. But that all changed 2 years ago. I mean, it started changing leading up to 2 years ago, but 2 years ago is when I kind of had the day of reckoning with myself. I was pregnant with baby number 5, and I have 5 girls, as you said, and I just said, what am I modeling for my children? I want to break the cycle. I want to model for them what a strong, positive, encouraging, person can be. And I wanted to do something that I could be proud of and something that I could make them proud of. And so it all started a little more than 2 years ago. It was about January of 2013. And I was just, coming up on my 40th birthday. And so I decided, what am I going to do with the rest of my life? And a mentor is very important in your life. Finding somebody who's achieving the results that you want, and then figure out what that person is doing, whether you know them or not, whether you have access to having conversations with them or not. Reading books that they may have written, watching YouTube videos that they've made, really taking advice. And I think that was one of the most powerful things for me in the beginning, is I really found people that I admired, and I was gullible. I believed them. If they told me this is all you have to do to achieve the success that I've achieved, then and I believed them, and so I did it. And it is very simple. It's very simple, but it's about making a change. So anybody can do this. Anyone.
That's really interesting, because to see you like living the golden life, and you're the latest glam girl, and you're senior vice chairman, and just have it all made, living in Hawaii and but you've overcome some things to get there. And that's such a common theme throughout successful people. Most people were not born with a silver spoon in their mouth, were they? They overcome things, and that's part of what's developing you as a person and strengthening you to be able to achieve those heights like that. So you attribute a lot of that to a particular mentor or two that helped you see where you could get to?
Yeah, there's a couple different people. One was Dr. Luis Ariaza, who I know you've had on the show. And I do have the privilege of knowing him personally in the very beginning, and he was integral. And it was just about doing what he said to do. It was that easy, and then I worked with a life coach, and she was a mentor of mine as well, and I had contact with her on a daily basis, and then it was reading a lot of books, and kind of, they were my pseudo mentors, the authors of all these different books. And so and you can have many mentors, and like I said, at varying degrees of being able to access them and talk to them, and that was really helpful for me. There were a few things that were really helpful for me in the beginning. One was the mentoring. Another one was a vision, having a vision of what success looked like to me. And that vision, like I said, can change, and it has changed for me. And just, Dr. Ariaza has a quote, and I don't know if he coined this phrase, but somebody did, somebody out there, maybe his mentor, I don't know, but he says, the vitality of your life is in direct relation to the vividness of your vision. And it's so true. When you get that vision of what you want your life to look like so clear, nothing's going to stop you, because God wants to grant us the desires of our heart. And when we're in alignment, and that is in alignment with, what is in our best interest, that stuff just comes. It just magnetizes to you. And it's all about the vision. It's all about the attitude. And we were talking about William Whitecloud. He wrote a book called The Magician's Way that was it was a paradigm shift for me in asking, your mind wants to say, well, how are we going to get that? My vision was, a beachfront house, and I wanted to travel, and I wanted all these things, and how is that going to manifest itself? How? But when we ask ourselves how, it kills the magic. And our lives can be so magical and juicy and amazing as long as we stop asking how this is all going to happen. Because the universe is abundance. God is abundance. And when we allow that abundance to flow, and we stop asking how he's going to figure all this out, that's when the fun begins, I think. So.
Yeah, that was interesting. Last night you were telling me about William Whitecloud, and so I was looking on some YouTube videos of him last night, And he was literally saying, like, so many people have heard of The Secret, or they know about the energy, what you put out comes around back to you and all that. And he was saying, don't focus on the mechanics of how to get to that point. Skip that part and just strengthen the vision of the end result. Because all the mechanics of how to do it, when, where, how, why, with who, whatever, it actually is interfering with reaching that end goal. Did you think that was accurate in the way that you approached it?
Absolutely. And it's training your mind. You know, it's continually training your mind. He relates it to a swing circle in golf, right? Mm-hmm. And he gives this analogy in the book of, you know, him golfing with a golf master who's teaching him, you know, how to golf. And he's like, I suck at golfing. You know, I'm not going to make this shot. And so he starts, you know, doing all the things with his hands and his, you know, keeping his eye on the ball, sticking his butt out, you know, doing what he needs to do or not. I don't know. I don't golf. Do you stick your butt out? But, you know, looking down at the ball and making the shot. And the guy is like, well, where did you want the ball to go? And he wasn't even focused on the end result of where he wanted that ball to go. And it was about getting him out of the minutia of the swing circle and refocusing him on his end result, on his goal, where he wanted the ball to go. And when I started doing that in my life, the magic just started to happen. And even I just talked to Al about this at the beginning of the month, and Al's about to go vice chairman in Youngevity this month. Yay. I mean, he's only been in 9 months. Okay, so this is less than a year.
Wow.
So, but at the beginning of the month, I like to have people, my team, speak their goals, you know, speak it out. Words are powerful. Our words, you know, God spoke the world into existence. So I said to Al, okay, so what are we going for this month? Are you going to go for PMD this month? And he goes, oh, I think I need a little break. I think I just need to restructure everything. I've been working really hard. And I said, you know what? It's not about the work. It's about the vision. And when if this is your choice to go PMD, don't think you have to work any harder than you're already working, because opportunities are going to come that are going to make that happen for you. If your vision is to achieve that rank and to have peace and time for yourself and get things done for yourself, you know, then that's what your vision is going to be. That's what your vision is going to be, and that's what the universe is going to respond to. So don't you know? Now, he did work, and, you know, this is work, but at the last minute, one of his old clients from insurance called him up, and he's a vet, and he said, you know, okay, you showed me this a few months ago. I want to fill my office. I want to sign up my whole staff. I want everybody get CEO. I mean, that was like instant PMD status for him. So not only did he make PMD, but it looks like he's going to make vice chair this month. So that's the magic of speaking your goals, seeing your vision, and seeing it exactly how you want it to come to fruition. And it's not about working harder. It really isn't. Now, God does honor the diligent, right? He does reward the diligent, and it's great to be diligent, and it's great to be, you know, to do what you say you're going to do, but, you know, we really don't have to work ourselves to the bone trying to get our vision. Our vision is supposed to be a beautiful thing where we know it came from something other than ourselves, and we can give thanks, you know? And wow. That's what Al did with me on the phone today. He gave thanks, you know, he prayed with me, and we just said, thank you so much, you know, for making this happen. And yeah, it's magical. It's amazing. And your life can be that way if you choose to make it that way today. You know, right this second, you can make that choice. Yeah.
So now, is he in Hawaii too? Because I know, like, you're on the Big Island in Hawaii. There's not like a million people there for you to do this business with. And, you know, I can relate because I'm up in the corner of like 10 minutes from Canada. There's, you know, in a tiny little burg. So is he in Hawaii with you? And how did you grow such a big team with, you know, fairly isolated circumstances there?
Right. Most of my team is on the mainland, and it's great because part of my vision was to travel, and now I get to travel all over to see these amazing people all over the country. So be careful what you wish for, you know. So he's in Pennsylvania. He's about as far away from me as we could possibly get. Yeah, and I look so forward to the events because I get to see this amazing team, these amazing people that have met, you know, been come into my world, and I consider them family. You know, I didn't have the greatest family growing up, and so it's kind of like God has redeemed that into my life with this family of my Youngevity family, my team, and it's a beautiful thing.
Wow.
So, yeah.
So a lot of different pieces are really coming together for you now because of this.
Yes, absolutely. And it's just it's so many dimensions, you know, of my life are abundant. It's not just focusing on the money. The money's great, and let me tell you, you can live a pretty awesome lifestyle when the money starts coming in. But it's also about like this place. I manifested this house just, let's see, January of this year. I wanted a house. I moved from one island to another, and I said, if I move there, I need a house that has a downstairs office. My kids can play in the yard while I'm working in my office. I can have meetings, events here in my home, and always be set up for them. And look at this huge, beautiful office space I have in this home. It was like, I couldn't have designed a better situation for myself for right now. This is exactly perfect. So.
Wow, that is a beautiful setup that you have there. That must be really nice. So which island did you come from?
I came from Oahu. I'm from Oahu. And let me tell you one more thing about my office. When I started this business, I was working out of a walk-in closet. Okay, and it wasn't a very big walk-in closet. It was a small walk-in closet. So it's all about creating a space that's, you know, to succeed. That's what Mary Lou Henner says, right? We set up a place for success, and that was my walk-in closet. I had a little bitty desk like this, and yeah, I had a little laptop that was on its last legs, and that's how I started. So yeah, but I'm from Oahu. I've been living here for 10 years, except for a year that I moved back to Oahu, and I grew a team over there. So now I have teams on 2 islands. So I fly there once a month for meetings, and just jet setting. I love it. It's awesome.
Yeah, that is so cool. And you know, like you were saying, you wanted to be a good role model for your daughters, for your girls. And you know, what I've found with this kind of a business is there's no ceilings. It doesn't matter your gender or age or anything. It's just the work that you want to put in, you're going to get rewarded for.
Right.
And so I got to believe that's a good feeling with those girls. You know, I feel the same way with my kids.
Yeah. And the investment, I mean, the work is on yourself. And that's never going to go away. Nobody's ever going to take that away. The work that you do on yourself in this business. And, you know, Michael Bernoff says, I keep quoting all these people, and I want you to know, like, I just listen to what other people say, and I do it, you know, or I believe it. And I like, if that makes me gullible, look where gullible got me. Pretty good, in a pretty good situation. And Michael Bernoff said, you know, when we set goals, it's one thing to accomplish those goals and reach those goals, and that's amazing. But the more amazing part is the person that you have to become to achieve those goals. And 2 years ago, I was nervous talking to a group of 18 people in my living room at my first home event in network marketing ever. This is my first stab at network marketing ever. And I was shaking in my boots. And I even put on a Barb Pitcock presentation. I didn't even want to give the presentation myself. So how far I've come, that you know, I'm flying to Austin this month to do a presentation to hopefully 100 people, and you know, I've spoken in front of groups of a few thousand people, and it's just, I did not start out like this, you know, and it's just about you developing to a point where that getting outside your comfort zone, that's where life begins, outside your comfort zone. It's so much fun out there.
Yeah, that is very impressive. And, you know, I think it Tom that's always saying, you know, Tom Chenault, who's a huge network marketer, very successful. This kind of business is about a self-improvement program with a paycheck attached to it. I mean, that's what they say is, you know, that's the reality of it. And, you know, the more that you can get outside your comfort zone and be out and about and, you know, team building, that's your success. That's your success route.
It is. And it's getting to know people, meeting people, and I was not an extrovert when I started, and I'm just having the time of my life, meeting new people every day. And yeah, for those people who say I'm kind of a wallflower, I mean, that was me. I was very self-conscious 2 years ago. Just 2 years ago, I was very self-conscious. Who'd have thunk, right?
No, you
But
don't. You seem very outgoing now.
I'm coming into my own. Yeah, it's what a journey. I mean, I wanted to, I always loved Oprah. I mean, love her, hate her, whatever. She's an amazing person as far as her ability to engage people, you know, her ability to, she just draws people in, people love her. And one thing about that was I got to see Oprah. Youngevity sent me to Atlanta, put me up at the Ritz, and I got to see Oprah. When was it? Last year, August, I think. It was so amazing. But one thing I realized about Oprah is that the reason people are so drawn to her is that, number one, she's transparent. She'll, you know, if she farts, she's probably going to say, oh, I hope you didn't smell that I just farted, you know, on camera. You know, she's that kind of person. And she's authentic. So she's transparent and authentic, and people are really drawn to transparent, authentic people. And so when you find out who you really are, who your true self is, and you fall in love with yourself, and you get out there and show the world who you really are, without fear of rejection, that's when life gets fun. I mean, there's so many times, how many times have I said life gets fun? My life is just fun. It doesn't mean that bad stuff doesn't happen, right? But it's how you deal with that stuff when it comes. And I'm so excited about my future that it's easy to deal with the bad stuff when it comes.
So how did you start out? Like, how did you, when you were such a wallflower and really shy or whatever, how did you start? Did you do the home party thing and just start inviting people that you ran into over
Yes.
for some information, or what did you do?
Well, what I did, now it was, you know, I talked about vision. I got so clear with my vision, and my question was, is it real? Are people really making money at this? And if they can do it, I can do it. There's no difference. You know, the people that I met that were successful in network marketing were in, and in this company in particular, Youngevity, were such an array of personalities, such an array of, you know, colors, and like you said, doesn't matter your sex or your color, your age, or where you're from, or anything. They were successful. And so that answered the question for me, is it real? The second question was, can I do this? And if they could do it, I could do it. So that question was answered. And I was telling you yesterday, you know, pretty much, you know, my day of reckoning was putting it on Facebook. And when I put it out there for the world to see, I was committing that I was not going to fold on this business. I was going to see it through to my vision, no matter what it took. And that was my promise to myself. It was like a covenant to myself that I determined in my mind, I'm just going to succeed no matter what it took. And as I started learning what it was going to take, the fear set in. Okay, I'm going to have to go talk to people? Oh my gosh. Well, duh. You know, of course you're going to have to share this business with people, but that hadn't really come into my, I don't know. I had committed to it before I started thinking about the fear aspect of what it was going to take to succeed. So as I learned these things, like I said, I was gullible. So I'd be on training calls and they'd say, okay, go talk to 5 people today. I'd be like, oh my gosh, 5 people about this business, and tell them I do network marketing. Do I have to tell them I do network marketing? Can I just, you know, make like, it's not network marketing? Because I had this block about network marketing that I had to get over. I thought it was cheesy, and I'd seen so many people not go anywhere with it. And I knew that it had to be different for me. And it has been. So if those of you out there are wondering if you can do this and if it's real, it is so real. And yes, you can do this. If I can do this, anyone can do this. With 5 kids, how am I going to find the time? I had to wake up at 4:30 in the morning, you know, to do it before my kids got up. I had to do it after my kids went to bed at night. And that's how I loved starting a mainland business, because I could call people on the mainland at 4:30 in the morning. People in Hawaii would think I was crazy calling them at 4:30 in the morning, but I could call people on the East Coast and it would be 10:30 in the morning. So you got to do what you got to do to make it happen if you really want it. No excuses.
Yeah, that's awesome. And Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, you do it when you can do it and when you have to do it. And why not? That's perfect.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Well,
anybody, flowers can do this, anybody can do it. Just don't think about, you have to be so set on your vision. That's why your vision has to be so clear, you know. And my vision was so clear. In fact, I'm looking at my vision board right over there. I have it on my desk. I look at it every day.
yeah, we were talking about that last night. And I think that, Victoria Barron's big believer in the whole vision boards and manifesting and all that stuff. And I do think obviously there is a lot to that. You can tell. And pretty quickly, with a lot of different people, they've referred back to that. And it's obviously very powerful. So for people starting out, you would say have the end vision in mind when you start.
Yeah, and that vision can change and evolve as you accomplish goals. And this is a crazy story because this is just coming back from convention from California to Hawaii, and I get to fly first class now, and it's really fun. I was in first class, and it's amazing the people you meet in first class. And don't you know, I was thinking, I really would like to, I need to take it up a notch. I've had the same vision board forever. Most of the stuff on there I've already achieved. I need to me, it's more than just cutting out pictures from a magazine and putting them on a board, right? It's about really getting quiet with yourself, closing your eyes, shutting out the outside world, and really just meditating on your happy place. What does that look like to you? If there were no limitations on money or where you live or anything, what does that look like to you? What does your happy place look to you in every aspect of life, from relationships to income to professional? What's your job? Or do you not have one? What does your home look like? What does your romantic life look like? What does your family look like? So in every aspect, and dreaming that and writing it down as you're in your happy place. Come out of it, write it down, go back in, write it down. I mean, if it takes you an hour in your happy place, so be it. It's great. I love my happy place. And then you can search online for specific things and situations out of your happy place and put them on a board. And I get a really high quality foam board, and I decoupage it, and it sits up on my desk. And so anyway, Tony Robbins was on my vision board because I've never been to a Tony Robbins event, and I thought how great to go to a Tony Robbins event.
Yeah, he is fabulous.
Flying home from convention, sit next to a guy who's one of Tony's VIP guys who's flown around the world with him for years. Don't know this, but he's reading a self-development book, and I'm reading on my Kindle, Think and Grow Rich or something. I don't remember what I was reading. Oh, I was reading The Power of the Subconscious Mind. I brought it up at convention. I said, I've done what he said to do up until now, and it's done me good. So he just said, read that book. Let me buy it on Kindle right now. And so I'm reading the book. Don't you know? The guy sitting next to me winds up being Tony Robbins' guy, gives me his card. I wind up calling up, and they put me in the VIP section for much, much less than it was, online. And I don't even think that section was available online. So really, really cool. But what he said on the plane was, our lives and our belief levels and our vision is like it's like an air conditioner. When you set it at a certain temperature, your life and your circumstances will rise to that temperature. But if that's where your vision and your belief is, once it hits that temperature, it's going to come down a little bit, and it'll come back up, and it'll just stay right about at that belief level, at that temperature. When you raise your belief level, when you raise your vision, when you change, when you've accomplished your goals, you have to set new goals. You have to set new vision so you can allow the temperature to come back up. And I thought that was so wise, because when I thought about it on my original vision board and what my vision for my income was, I had achieved that. And I hadn't reset a new vision for my income. Now my team was growing like crazy and exploding. Why wasn't my income changing? And it was really uncanny. So now I'm like, I better get home and change that on my vision board. Don't believe me, I did. There's a new number on that vision board over there. So I thought that was really powerful. I've never heard it put that way before.
Yeah. So now what's the new one already?
So now I have the new
Oh, it's
vision.
updated. That'll be really curious then. We'll have to do a checkup and see how it's working. I think so. I mean, look at what you've been able to do. And, that's just so fabulous and so fast. That's a long way to come in 2 years. That's crazy fast. And then your
Crazy.
guy, Joe, 9 months, you said, and he's
Al.
Al.
Yeah. Al, 9 months. I know. It's remarkable. And that's what I wanted too. I intended. I mean, one word I don't think we've talked about is intention. Sometimes you don't have a clear vision. It's about the intention. It's more about you have to have a clear vision, but if you don't have the specifics of a certain thing, it's okay. It's the intention. Get clear with that intention of what you want, and I had intended to bring to my business men, because I had a lot of women. I had a lot of single moms. I had attracted a lot of single moms, which are amazing, great people. I felt like the team needed a man, because there were men, and me being a woman leading a team, I felt like I needed that man partner. And Al came around, and he's an amazing human being, an amazing partner, and I think it works really well. Like now on our team calls, I do have to call, he just does have to call. It's like the yin and yang. So you get the male and the female. It's really, because some people, need that energy. Some people respond to different energy, and so yeah, some people really respond to me, and some people really respond to Al, and it's great to have that partnership now.
Yeah, I was listening. That's when I heard you guys together on the Daily Dose call last week. Mm-hmm. And it was quite synergistic. And he is just the funniest guy, isn't he? Is he always funny like that? Like just in real life?
Yeah, if you're having a bad day, talk to Al, because it won't be bad anymore. Honest you. And he always redirects me. When I need to get rain, I rein him in when he needs reining in, and he reins me in. And yeah, he's my brother. He's like, yeah. Amazing person.
That's so cool. And you hear that, from the different leaders with bigger teams like that, more successful teams, is like they're like friends. Like this is not just like, it's so opposite of like the corporate ladder where everybody's in competition and they're, clawing up each other up the corporate ladder or whatever. It's not like that. It's truly is networking where whatever you do helps them and vice versa. And people talk about it all the time as one of the biggest benefits of this style of business is these kind of friendships are real friendships, and you're really back and forth, truly benefiting each other.
What I love so much about the people is that people that are in this business have to be growing as people. You just have to. It's Tom Chenault says it's a personal development course with a paycheck attached. And it really is, and it gets so much fun when that paycheck gets bigger, and when the people that you're in this with, when they're becoming more successful and you're all growing as people, they say you're the average of the 5 people that you spend the most time around. And when you're growing as people, it's like the bar is getting raised on everybody together, and it's a beautiful thing. And yeah, they're your friends, but I've met some people in this company that I consider family, and to me, like, that's so special. It's so special because I hadn't experienced that kind of unconditional love. I really feel like people in this, and I don't know if it's just Youngevity because I never did network marketing before, but this company, my friend Jennifer, she, the first convention that we went to together, she started about when I started, and we went to a convention. And she said, it was like walking into a family reunion of people you had never met. Like they just hug you. Everybody hugs on you and loves on you, and they don't even know you. It's because we have this commonality, and we have this, that to be successful, you have to be a good person. People have to like you to be successful. And it's kind of like a bubble. Like Al says, you meet the people in Youngevity, you meet the people that you're going to meet in heaven before you get to heaven, because it's like a little piece of heaven being in this company. It's a beautiful thing.
Quite uncanny, isn't it? The caliber of people in Youngevity. We've talked about that too before. In our team is how do you just see that big of a group of people and everybody is really trying to help each other and truly have each other's backs? And, like Lanny, she would hug you every hour if you saw her again. An hour later, she's just so darling. And there's so many people like that that are just genuinely out to help you. I was only in one other network marketing company before this, and not for very long. And it couldn't have been more opposite. Like, it's 180 degrees opposite on everything. And it is like family. It's just the most wonderful thing, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. And people, when they're wondering, who to talk to. If you're in network marketing and you're wondering who to talk to and who to bring onto your team, bring someone onto your team that you would want to share a suite with on a cruise ship. Because that's where I'm going in January, and I'm going to have 2 tickets. And who am I going to take? Of course, I want to take somebody from my team. And I did last year on the cruise that I won. I took my great friend Betty, and she's on my team, and we had a blast. And that's the kind of people you want on your team, is people that you want to travel the world with and live this lifestyle because it's an amazing, lavish, exciting lifestyle. When you put in the work and you get to the point where you're like, you're on cruise control a little bit, it's magical and amazing, and you want to be with people that you really love and enjoy spending time with. And so when people tell me, I've talked to everybody in my life about other businesses and I don't want to approach my best friend again about something else, I tell them, look, what is your vision for what you want to accomplish in this company? And if they know what their vision is and they know it, like they're getting it no matter what, they need to go see their friend. And they need to go share this opportunity with their friend and tell them, look, I know I've done other stuff before. This one, I'm partnering with this upline or this person who's going to help me get there. And they asked me who I want to be on a cruise ship with next year, and it's you, because you're my best friend. I love you, and I really want to do this together. If you don't have that clear vision and you don't believe that you're really going to get there, then don't talk to your friends, because you'll lose them again, right? So it's about having that vision and believing that you're going to do this. And then when you bring in those people, you have to respect you have to follow through with what you told them. You told them that we're getting there, so you have to get there. And now you're like, we have to do this because we're together, and I promised you we would do this. And so now you're committed to more than just yourself. So, but that's who I say to ask, because it's so much fun when you're surrounded with people that you love and you're doing fun things and traveling the world, and you really do. And that's something I didn't get in the beginning. The lifestyle of network marketing is like none other. It's so much fun.
And there's no limit to it. There's no limit to it. And you can, like for you have 5 girls, I've got 5 kids too. You can prioritize things in your life and make everything work so much better than when you're stuck in a job with a boss that really doesn't give a rip and you're trying to make everything happen the right way. Or like with me, we own a coffee shop, but more like it owns me. I mean, it's 7 days a week. It's always got to be staffed, no matter if people are in there or not, or whatever's going on, or, you have a blizzard, then they want you there even all the more because, we're providing food and a coffee and they don't have power and whatever. I mean, literally they're like friends too down there, which I love, my customers. But I mean, it is like nonstop, and it was not the time that I needed for my own kids here, because I wasn't getting until 7 at night, and it's like, that's not really cutting it. So there's so many advantages, to this kind of a lifestyle. I really appreciate that stuff, let alone residual income.
Absolutely. I had a small cafe on the North Shore on Oahu for a little while, and that was kind of like one of the factors into deciding for Youngevity, because you have payroll, you have people who don't show up, and you have to go and you're scrubbing toilets, and there was so much waste and overhead and planning ahead, and everybody'd be out surfing and I couldn't go because somebody didn't show up for work, it was a lot of stuff that was not fun. And there were some fun moments, and there were some great things about having a cafe that I loved, but I knew I didn't want to do that again. And with Youngevity, they handle my paychecks. they handle, you know, getting the customers their orders. They handle all the collection of the money, and they handle so much. It allows me to just do the fun part. And the fun part is dealing with my team and dealing with other people and helping people. And what I love so much about this business is I get to help people. I get to watch people have victories in their lives and grow spiritually, emotionally, financially, in every aspect. And we all help each other grow. And it's like iron sharpening iron. And I couldn't say enough about network marketing. And I used to poo-poo it. So
Yeah,
I give it a
think
double.
a lot of people do because they didn't really get it. They're like, oh, it's a pyramid scheme, and which is the silliest thing ever. I mean, what corporation or church or government or anything else isn't shaped like a pyramid? That drives me crazy. It's like, really? But, you know, at least you're at the top of the pyramid growing your own structure. And it's just the most empowering. There's just nothing like it. If people can get past the old dogma of it that is so inaccurate, it's just the sky is the limit. It's just the most great opportunity.
Well, you ask all the big business guys. You ask what's his name with the comb over? The Don. You ask the Don. What's his name from You're Fired? Help me.
I don't know.
What's his name?
Trump?
Yeah, Donald Trump. The Don.
Oh.
Okay. You ask him. You ask Kiyosaki. You ask all these guys. You know, even Gates. Bill Gates said, you know, if you had it to start over again, what would you do? They said, I'd find a great network marketing company, plug in and do it. Because there's a formula in place, there's a system in place. They deal with all the materials you need, all the marketing, the products, the everything. They deal with the problems. You just get to make the money, deal with the people, make the relationships, help people, and you collect a paycheck and become a better person while doing it. And so, you know, once again, take
crazy. Yeah. There's so many advantages to it. And, you know, they say like the average write-offs just for like, you know, a percentage of your home and blah, 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 whatever. The normal stuff is like $5,500 a year just in the write-offs for normal things that you're going to do. That's the average, according to like the tax bot guy. And then, you know, people like Warren Buffett, he owns network marketing companies. I mean, the people that are in the big money like that, they get the value of it. Because the structure is so unique and it's beneficial to them and all the people that are in them if it's structured well. So I just think Youngevity has got that down too. And there's just so many advantages to it. It's the greatest thing.
Yeah, I love it. It was one of the best decisions I ever made. So if you're thinking about it, you know, if you're here thinking about if you can do it or, you know, what company you're going to pick, make sure it's something you feel passionate about. Make sure it's something you can feel proud of. There's so many companies out there. Make sure it's something that resonates with you. And you got to have passion in your life. And, you know, I found products that I'm so passionate about. I use them. My kids all use them. We love them. Make sure you find something that you're passionate about. Make sure that you are committed to doing this and have that vision of your end result. And, you know, it is work. And in the beginning, you can get discouraged, and I get it. And you need to find things that are going to feed your spirit. When you get discouraged, you're going to need to, you know, be able to talk to people to talk you out of it, shake you out of it, and get you refocused on your end result. And then find people and surround yourself with people who really want to see, who can share in your vision and want to see this happen for all of you, because it can and it will if you follow that formula. I mean, there's so much more to it, but that's basically in a nutshell. I had to believe it. I had to know it was real, and I surrounded myself with a great family of people, and we're all rising to the top together. And
so when you first started, Malina, how did you keep your team together? Like, what did you utilize because they're scattered around all over the US or whatever, some probably there, but other ones in other places. How did you stay connected with them? How are you motivating them and like bonding your team together?
Yeah, we have great synergy. And even though, let's say at convention, this past convention, we had about 40 people from our team there. Wow. And everywhere from the Caribbean down to Florida to Texas to California, all up and down the West Coast. I mean, and then Al from Pennsylvania. I mean, everywhere in between. And it was like we all knew each other already. And I really was so happy that when we all got together, we were all hugging each other, and it was like we knew each other. And the way that we created that in our team was we have weekly calls, and I really like to make it a platform for everybody on the team to share. And what that does is it helps people grow and get outside their comfort zone and step up and into their leadership roles, into that leader that they need to be. And so we usually I'll do the first 10 minutes of the call, or 15. We'll have somebody from the team on to share in the middle, and then Al will close out the call. And so we always do the intros, and of course everybody says hi, and we do small talk and stuff. But everybody gets to know a little bit about everybody else's story on the team. So that's a big one. We also do webinars at least once or twice a month. We'll do a webinar, and we can all see each other's cameras, and we goof around, and there's a really playful, fun energy. You know, your vibe attracts your tribe, and some people are very serious and very professional. That's not me, if you can tell. And you know, I'm serious, but I have to have fun, you know, come on, that's what life's about to me. Is let's all have a bunch of fun together and, you know, grow, and all the other stuff I already said. But so the calls, the webinars, and Facebook. So Facebook, we have an ongoing conversation where I invite everybody from the team, so it's a private conversation, and we all share and do the little emojis and the silly stuff, and gets everybody winds up friending each other on Facebook from the team, and then they see each other's pictures and such. And then we have a private group on Facebook too, where I can always post reminders about upcoming calls and things like that. So we're very connected in a lot of different ways. I use emails. I send out group emails once a week and share the successes of people on the team and rank advancements and stuff. So we all get to know each other that way.
Yeah. So everybody's familiar, and then you get together, and then, like you said, it's like you already know everybody.
Yeah. And I'll look forward to the events. I mean, I can't tell you how much everybody's looking forward to seeing each other again at this event in North Carolina in September. And then I think we're all going to spend a week together at one of our team members in Georgia has a big 10-bedroom house, and on a pool on a lake, and we're just like, he's inviting anybody from the team to come stay. I mean, what a great team building opportunity something like that is. And that's what's so special about this business, is you could just do that. Yeah, let's take a week off and go. But it's not really a week off, because that's what we do for a living. We're all networking together. We'll probably have a meeting while we're there, I'm sure, and help this guy grow his team in Georgia. And it's just a synergistic, amazing, you know, beautiful thing.
I know. And how great is that? Where do you see that? Network marketing, that's it. You know, it's the greatest in so many ways, and people have no idea about that. So I'm really glad you're sharing some of that, you know, out there, because who knows who all will see this kind of stuff. And we wanted to get to know you and hear, you know, all about Malina and stuff, but just to like lay to rest some of that old school dogma like that, and to see some of the upside, the potential of what this can offer people, not just financially, like you're saying, but in a quality of life kind of way, like overall abundance. It's fabulous.
Yeah, it is.
Well,
it is.
We have been talking for almost an hour, girl. Can you believe it already?
Oh, so my gosh.
Like 50 minutes. So
I gotta go surfing.
Well, you know, time flies, they say. So is there anything else that you want to share with people or add at all? You've been just so open, and it's just been so great to talk to you.
Yeah, I'm so glad to be on the show. I hope something I said spurred something in somebody, and if that's all it did, with one person out there to make you believe that this is possible for you, then it was worth it. And you get to know yourself, get to know your true authentic self, and fall in love with yourself, and let other people see that in you. And that's going to be fun and amazing and juicy and magical just in itself. just that little part of it. You know, not only will it, you wind up being wildly successful from it, but it's so much fun to fall in love with who you are and really allow the world to see it. It's like walking out of your house naked, you know, but in the beginning it is, you know, wondering what's going to happen when you show the world your true self without, you know, with very little filter. I have a little filter, but it's so much fun. Get outside your comfort zone.
That's the connection, because, you know, that reality, everybody's struggling with something, you know, and just for you to be genuine and real, and you did this, they're real people with their own deals, and they can all do it too. And it's just so, I really appreciate your, you know, candor and, you know, willingness to just be on here and just share. It's been awesome. So, all righty.
Thank you so much.
So much, Malina. We really appreciate it, and we're really glad all of you came back watching the show today. If you have any questions or comments for Malina, just put them in the chat box down below, and we'll get back to them all week long. You can share this out all week and see her show again all during the week. And we'll see you next Wednesday again. Thank you so much, everybody.
Aloha, Becky.